Okay, hi ladies. Thank you for joining me this evening for tonight's training for 5 ways to step out of your comfort zone with ease and excitement. Now, I'm sure that you have all heard the expression life begins where your comfort zone ends, which is absolutely fab life advice. However, we all know that stepping out your comfort zone can lead to butterflies in your stomach. It can cause you stress, anxiety. You can just have a mind just filled with negative thoughts, and it makes actually taking that action really difficult to do. So we are going to look at why that is and what you can do to make it easier for yourself. So for those of you who don't know me very well, my name is Emma. I'm a coach and I specialise in helping new female entrepreneurs to build their confidence, to build their business. So I work with my clients in lots of different ways, and when we've been through the training this evening, I'm going to share with you a program that I'm going to be running which starts next week. So let's dive right into this evening's training. And yeah, comfort zone, brilliant thing. We all feel great and comfortable there. So why is it so difficult to step out of your comfort zone? Why do we get those butterflies in the tummy? Why is it that your mind gets filled with all of these negative thoughts and worst case scenarios? And basically it is an evolutionary stay safe mechanism. So it's really clever, and it's what keeps us out of harm's way. So when we're thinking of doing something that is new or different or a challenge that could be a possible danger, we have a flight or fight response. I always really struggle to say that, flight or fight response, which I'm sure you've all heard of. Your body gets flooded with adrenaline and you are basically pumped up and ready to go. Your metabolism speeds up, you sweat more, and it's to get your body ready to put up a really good fight or beat a hasty retreat to get away from whatever danger there is. And along with that, it brings up this kind of uncomfortable feeling, which is our brain is naturally pleasure seeking. So it's our brain's way of kind of making sure that we don't get ourselves back in that situation again. Our brain naturally wants to be in a comfortable place. So this flight or fight response is uncomfortable for us, and so our brain doesn't want us to be in that situation. And the negative thoughts are, and again, it's actually quite clever. Our brains would have back in our caveman day, we would have been permanently on the lookout for danger, and we would have like worst case scenarioed everything to keep ourselves safe, so we wouldn't be eaten by a bear or eaten like those poisonous berries or fallen in that stream or whatever we might have done back in the day when we were a caveman, right? So our brain still does this. It's still hardwired to do this. So that's why stepping out of your comfort zone can be so hard to do, because for most of us now, we're not, facing a bear or off to go and try and like hunt a lion for dinner. We're trying to sort of push ourselves in our businesses. We're trying to achieve more. We're trying to strive to do something we haven't done before. So there's no physical danger. We're not physically going to be in danger if we do this, but our mind doesn't know the difference. Our subconscious brain doesn't know the difference. And so we have that same response. So that feeling of nerves, it's the adrenaline kind of like rushing through you so that you can, like I say, make a fight or flight to get away from the danger. And that's why it can be so difficult to do, even though you can kind of get into this almost tussle with yourself, can't you? Of like, yeah, I really want to do this. Come on, I'm going to do it. And then like these little voices in the back, they're like, are you really? Not sure you are you? And that's what it is. We're fighting against ourselves. We're fighting against our own evolution. But the good thing is that there are things that you can do to make it easier for yourself. And the first and the really, really important thing to know is that everybody has this response. So if anybody tells you that you can eliminate negative feelings or you can stop this kind of response when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, they're probably crazy and don't believe them, because you can't. But there are things that you can do to lessen it for yourself and to make it easier to take the action that you want. And those are some of the things that we are going to look at this evening. So as I said, everybody has this, and actually that kind of makes it easier, because then when you're going through this internal battle with yourself, you can realise that actually you're just normal. You're just a normal person having a normal response to stepping out your comfort zone. So the first thing to do is to stop beating yourself up about it and cut yourself some slack. Realise that actually what you're doing is big and it's great, and that, you know, what you're experiencing is normal. But there are lots of other things you can do as well. That actually isn't one of the tips, by the way, before you think that's like a really rubbish tip. So the first thing that you can do is to think of stepping out of your comfort zone like a target. And I'm just, if I can do this, this is going to work really well. I'm just going to share my screen for a moment, and I'm going to show you just a graphic of what I mean. So, you're all still there, cool. So this is your comfort zone. Can you all see this, by the way? You'll just like nod at me, put thumbs up or something. Yeah, cool. So this is where you are right now. And these sections, round that out, these blue sections and the red, these are where you want to go. These are the actions that you want to take. So what you want to aim for are these blue sections. These are, if you like, the optimal sections to step into with when you're taking some kind of scary big action. This one round the outside, this red one, this is like the proverbial step too far. So what's going to happen is, if you are doing something that is in one of these blue zones, you are going to stretch yourself. It's something new, it's something different, it's something challenging. But within this, it's like a reachable step. It's a manageable step for you to take. So within these, you learn things, you learn new skills, you're more likely to succeed at what you're doing. And so you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel that you have achieved something. If you try and go straight for this red one, you're going to cause yourself more stress, more anxiety, and those heightened levels of anxiety are going to mean that you're probably not going to learn what you want to while you're there. While you're doing it, you're going to absolutely hate it, and you are probably not going to ever want to do it ever again, because it was just such a big step out of your comfort zone for you. Now, I love big goals, like crazy visions, and I'm all for really pushing yourself. So this isn't about not going for this red zone here. It's not about not going for this big goal. It's about taking stepping stones, seeing these blue zones as stepping stones to the big red goal at the end. So if you do this, if you set yourself smaller goals, smaller tasks to do, and continually push yourself to do them, continually step into these blue zones, this is what happens. You start to feel good about yourself, and then your comfort zone expands. So then what was the red one now becomes blue and becomes more reachable for you. So what you're comfortable doing expands, what you can do, your brain's understanding of what you can do grows, and with that you can then take the step into what was the blue zone. Now you'll notice, and actually I've made it really big, but there's like a new red zone that has appeared, and that's because the more you do, it opens your your mind up to new opportunities. So things that you wouldn't even have considered, they wouldn't even have been on your radar. Suddenly you think, oh, maybe I could do that. Oh, I'd never thought about that. Oh yeah, maybe I'll give that a go. And then that becomes your new red area. And you do the same again. You use these blue zones as stepping stones to get to that bigger goal. And that makes it less stressful, less anxious, anxiety inducing. That doesn't make any sense, does it? I think you know what I mean. Doesn't cause as much anxiety for you. Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. Okay, let me see if I can stop this share without actually cutting you all off. I have. Cool. Does anybody have any questions about that one? Let me just go through. You got any questions? No? Okay, cool. Right, so let me just 1 minute. So the second thing that you can do is to adopt an attitude of gratitude. Now, this is one of my favourite things to do, and I don't mean generally in terms of life, although if you want to live a happy life, then I can definitely recommend adopting a general attitude of gratitude. It really, really helps. But this is about thinking specifically about when you have stepped outside of your comfort zone in the past and what that has led to, all the good things that happened as a result of you doing that. So what I'd really like you to do now, if you've got like a pen and a piece of paper with you, yeah, cool. So what I would love for you to do is to think of something that you have done in the past that was scary, that was really out of your comfort zone, and then make a list of what happened as a result of that, all the good stuff that came out of that. So it could be something relating to your business, or it could be something on a personal level. So for me, my 3 personal most scary things are giving birth, which I've done 3 times, which was pretty scary, being a single mum, and hiring my coach, all of which scared the living daylights out of me at the time, and all have led to amazing things. My 3 children, my new husband, and my business. But lots of other things as well. So list as many things as you can that have led there. So I'm just kind of flicking through you all because you're not all on one page. Has everybody got some things? Yeah. Okay, cool. So when you look at that list of all the good things that happened as a result of you taking that scary action, how does that kind of make you feel? And you know what, if you could type it in the chat bar, how looking at that list makes you feel, just so we can all share, that would be really fab. So everybody goes really shy. Yeah, confident, proud and pretty impressed with myself, inspired and motivated, I can think and do it again and more. Yeah, so relieved too, a bit more confident. Yeah, and I think that what we often do is we do these things and kind of take that step, and then kind of like then want to take another step and another step and another step. And that's actually a really great thing to do. But you can sort of forget to look back at what you have already done and all the good stuff that has come out of that, and sort of give yourself like a real pat on the back and sort of say, you know what, I did an absolutely fab job there. It was really scary. I did something that maybe other people wouldn't have done, and look at what's happened. Look at what I've done. Actually, as we're talking about this, if you could go back now and give yourself, who was about to do that thing, if you could give yourself one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be? What would you say to yourself before you took that scary action? Enjoy it. Yeah, that's a really good one, because we can really forget to do that, can't we? You know, you can get really caught up in the nerves and the anxiety and forget to actually enjoy what it is that you're wanting to do. Yeah, you're stronger than you think. Yes, absolutely. You know, I think we're all a lot stronger in yourself. Believe in yourself. Feel proud that you've been able to do it. Just do it. Yeah. And you know what? That is all fab advice. And I think it's all the more powerful when you are giving yourself that advice. So that's my tip number 2. And it's kind of twofold, really. Write down that advice that you've just given yourself. Put it on a post-it note and put it somewhere where you're going to see it, on your mirror, where you do your makeup in the morning, or where you clean your teeth, in your diary. I have like a sticky note in my diary that I move so I know what day I'm on, and I write something inspirational or something to remind myself of how great I am, how far I've come, what it is I'm actually trying to achieve, so that I see it every single morning when I look in my diary. So that's the first one. Take your own advice. And the second one is tap into those feelings of gratitude. Tap into those feelings of how awesome you are for what it is that you've already done. Go back and look at that list. And this is something that you can do with other things. So, you know, on another day, or when the call's finished, go back and look at other things that you've done in your life that have scared you, and all the great things that have come out of it. And then next time when you're planning to step out of your comfort zone and you're having that, oh, can I sort of feeling, go back to that list, look at it, look at what happened last time you did it, look at all the fab stuff that came out of it, and, you know, just use that to sort of like quieten the fears and boost your confidence in yourself. Because gratitude is actually one of the most powerful emotions that you can feel. It kind of trumps nearly all other emotions. That's why it's so powerful in terms of living a happy life, to kind of, you know, feel gratitude, because it is such a powerful emotion. So if you tap into that, and if you feel grateful to yourself for having taken that kind of action in the past, and feel grateful to yourself for taking the action that you're thinking of taking now, then you will that will kind of have the effect of lessening any anxiety that you feel, because gratitude is so powerful. Is everybody okay with that one? Anybody got any questions? Yeah. Okay, so move on to the next one. Right, now we all have those like negative thoughts, right? They can just bombard you, can't you? You can go from thinking, right, I'm going to do this, and then before you know it, you completely worst case scenarioed everything. Hi, if you've just joined us. Completely worst case scenario everything, and it can just be horrendous. So what we're going to look at now is a technique to start to disassociate yourself from your negative thoughts. So you can never get rid of negative thoughts. They are, as I said earlier, they're our kind of evolutionary response. They are what is trying to keep us safe. We're on the lookout for danger all the time, and that's where all these negative thoughts come from. And scientists actually think that around 70% of most people's thoughts are negative, which is just shocking. I couldn't believe it when somebody told me that last week. And you think, wow, God, no wonder it feels like trying to push water uphill. So it's you can't stop that. You can't stop that flow of negativity coming into your brain. But what you can learn to do is to recognize it for what it actually is. So our thoughts are words and pictures that are fed from our beliefs about the world and about ourselves. And they feed our thoughts and our self-talk. And that's what makes them feel so true for us, because our beliefs are really, really powerful. Now, I'm not really going to go into beliefs today because it's kind of like a whole training month on its own. But they are really powerful, and they drive our thoughts and our self-talk. So what we can kind of start to do is to start to see them for what they actually are. They don't need to be true. They are literally just our subconscious sort of trying to make sense of what we are seeing and trying to keep us safe. So this is a mindfulness technique to start to disassociate yourself from your thoughts. And that just means, does everybody know what I mean by disassociate? Basically just means sort of separating yourself from them, so that you don't get caught up in them, because it can be so easy to get caught up in your own thoughts around anything. Does anybody currently do any meditation or mindfulness? If you just type yes or no in the little chat bar there for me. Yes, no. No, but I need to. Yes, trying. Yeah. Right, so meditation, I love meditating. I try and make time to do it every day. That's it really kind of helps to keep me sane. And this is a mindfulness technique to visualize your thoughts, and it kind of you need to get into a meditative state. I think I've said that right. So I don't know, you know what, we might do this now actually. Is everybody up for doing this now? Yes, jolly good. Okay, so, and I can see what you're all doing, so I'll know if you're cheating or not. So if you can all just take in some nice deep breaths. So kind of breathe in through your nose and then hold it for a moment, and then breathe out through your mouth. And as you do that, take in some deep breaths. I'm not going to keep telling you when to breathe in and out, but find a natural rhythm for yourself of slow, deep breaths, and then close your eyes and continue to take those deep breaths and relax. Okay. And now I want you to imagine a stream. It can be any kind of stream you like, but slow running, very peaceful, very calm stream just running just in front of you. And as you're watching it, you notice leaves on the stream, all different sizes, different shapes, different colours. Some of them are green, some are red, some of them are brown, You just watch them all gently floating past you on this slow stream. I want you to just look closely at the leaves, and you'll notice that each one of the leaves is actually one of your thoughts. Some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them keep coming past time and time again. You're not trying to stop them, you're not trying to make them go any quicker. You're just watching them go past. Now, as you continue to watch, whatever thoughts pop into your mind right now, whatever they are, just watch them go past on the stream as they go past on their leaf. And sometimes you'll see the same thought go over again. Just pop it on the stream, watch it go. And the important thing is not to just do this with negative thoughts, but the positive ones as well. Watch them go in the same way. And then when you're ready, you take some more deep breaths. And then just come back into your body. Just feel the weight of yourself against the chair. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes. Okay. So what did everybody think? Just pop in the comments in the chat bar if that's something you've done before, if you find it hard to do, if your mind kept wandering off somewhere. Yeah, I prefer guided meditation as well, and visualization. I can't relax if it's just breathing. Yeah, and again, that's something, if anybody does do meditation, that's one of the first things that they teach you, actually, that you can't kind of like get rid of these thoughts, and your mind will wander off. Yes, yeah, and again, it's this kind of, oh, I must get rid of all of these negative thoughts. Deborah, you found it hard to picture the streams and leaves but couldn't get close enough to relax. Yeah, and this is just a kind of taster of this exercise. So this is something that if you thought that this was going to be helpful, this kind of mindfulness technique, then it's something that you should ideally practice sort of once a day or twice a day for 10 minutes to give yourself that time to see it happening. And Caroline, I think it was good, but a little difficult to visualize. Yeah, and you might be like, I'm a wordy person, so I find visualization quite hard because my mind thinks in words, not in pictures. So I find it easier to write than I do to see pictures of stuff. So if you have trouble visualizing, then it's not that you can't, it's just that your brain might think more in words than in pictures. Yeah, definitely practicing it every day. It was good. Yeah, and you know what? I've been practicing mindfulness for maybe 4 years now, not strictly every single day, but what happens is that the more you practice these kind of techniques, and there are other disassociation techniques, if you find the stream one doesn't work for you. I actually taught this one to my daughter because she really struggles with anger, to imagine them as balloons that go out of a head and then pop, and like pop, 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 with all of the thoughts as well. So there's various different ones that you can use depending on, you know, what you feel is going to work for you. But what happens is the more you do it, the more you start to recognize them as they pop into your head, and you're like, oh, hello, negative thought, you can pop right back out again. So you kind of almost don't get too tangled up in your own thoughts. But yeah, I can definitely recommend. I love meditation and visualization, even though I'm not always very good at it. And this kind of like mindfulness approach to seeing your thoughts for what they are, which is just words and pictures. Got something pop up on my computer. Let me just get rid of that. Right. So is that good? That works for some people. They think that might be something they could use in the future. Like I said, that's definitely one that does need some practice for you to get the most benefit out of. But I think it's a really fab technique, particularly if you're feeling like really, really overwhelmed sometimes. It can be really good to just take 10 minutes to go into a meditation and sort of just allow your thoughts to just naturally kind of go, and then they sort of, you know, just watch them come and go. Right, so the next one I've got for you is, if you are feeling really stuck, if you really just can't take that action that you want, then do something different. And still something that is outside of your comfort zone, but that is completely unrelated to what it is that you're struggling to do. So if you're struggling to reach out to potential clients, go and sign yourself up for a 5K run. And I say 5K because that would be a real out of comfort zone moment for me. Or if you are struggling to do a Facebook Live, then go and, I don't know, join a Zumba class. Or you see, all my out of comfort zone things are like massively about exercise, because I'm just dreadful at it, like really, really bad. But hopefully you get the idea that, you know, if you're really, really stuck, if you're just like feel like head against the wall, I just can't do it, then you know what, just cut yourself some slack. Give yourself some time and space and challenge yourself in another area of your life. Because what that does is, if you remember back to our comfort zone target, what it does is it pushes you into the blue zone in a completely different area of your life, but it still has the same effect. So it still expands your comfort zone, your confidence, what you're capable of in your mind, and that then allows you to take that other step. So I was chatting to my mum about this yesterday, and she was telling me a story of somebody that she knew who had been on a what do you call them, those kind of like outward bound team building things, you know, where they make you make a raft and then go like whitewater rafting and then laugh as you all fall out because you can't make a raft, that kind of thing. And this friend of hers had been and done that, and had been like rock climbing and abseiling and done all this, that and the other. And this friend lived in London, but had never, ever driven in the centre of London because she was absolutely petrified of it. So she'd been on this, like this outward bound thing, and then went home, and the next day drove from one side of London to the other, straight through the middle, if that's even possible. But it's this effect that all of a sudden your brain's like, you know what, and somebody said it earlier, like, you're so much stronger than you realise. You're capable of so much more than your subconscious mind a lot of the time, and your beliefs allow you to see. So by doing something completely different, it has the effect of, like I said, you cut yourself some slack, you kind of you're a bit kinder to yourself, rather than keep beating yourself up because you can't do this one thing. you challenge yourself in another area and you build your confidence in something completely different, and then it allows you to take that step out of your comfort zone that you couldn't do before, suddenly becomes that little bit easier, because your subconscious is like, oh yeah, maybe I can do this actually because I did that. So yeah, so that's it. Now you all need to go and sign yourself up for 5k run. No, you really don't. I'm sorry. Some of you are probably runners. Charlotte, you run a lot if she's still on the call. Yeah, yes, you are. You're right at the end. But hopefully that is one that you can all sort of use if you're, like I said, if you're feeling really, really stuck. And my last tip for you is to find yourself a cheerleader. So this is that one person who has absolute, complete and utter faith in you, even when you don't have faith in yourself. Now, this could be one person, or this could be like a few different people or a group of people, but often people can see in us things that we can't yet see in ourselves. And I'm wondering how many of you, when somebody has said something to you about you're really fab at something, or you're really great, or you're really talented, and you've kind of gone, oh yeah, but, and you know, sort of that's you. Oh, thanks, Claire. And sort of started some kind of negativity all over them, trying to build you up and make you feel good about yourself. And that is something that we are all really, really good at being like our own like anti-cheerleader, if you like. So it's, and I think it might have been Claire and I were having this chat about you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So it's about looking at the people that you're spending time with, and are they your biggest fans? Are they building you up? Are they sort of picking you up and making you feel great and having that faith in you? Because having a person or people behind you who have absolute faith in you just helps so much on those moments where you think, I don't know if I can do this. And if you know, even if you don't talk to them, even if you don't sort of ring them or text them and say, I can't do it, and they come back with something great, just knowing that they're there is just has that effect to remind you that yes, you are amazing and you can do this. So they can, like I said, they can come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes for people. So my husband is absolutely my biggest fan. I am so completely lucky. My mum is another one. I've got some amazing friends. And then my coach, she absolutely has my back. She 100% completely and utterly believes in me, even when I don't believe in myself, even when I wonder, or I have wondered in the past, can I really do this? Then all those people are like, yes, you can. So surround yourself with those people. And if you are currently sat there thinking, oh, I haven't really got that at the moment, there are so many places that you can go and find it. Networking groups can be amazing. I have a group on Facebook full of amazing women who are all in business and wanting to build their confidence. But there are loads of groups on Facebook where there are wonderful communities of particularly women, because I think as women we can be great at really empowering each other. And your friends as well, you know, which of your friends really get what it is that you're trying to do, because we've all got those friends who absolutely get it and those friends who really just don't go and talk to the ones that don't get it, because they will only kind of exacerbate that negativity, and I'll be like, oh, should you really? That's not what you need. You need to go and talk to those people who absolutely think you are fab and you can do it. And I was going to say something else about that as well. I feel they only say it and don't mean it. Yeah. So, and again, you have to kind of flip the roles around there. Would you say things to your friends if you didn't mean it? Would you, if your friend came to you and they were like, oh, I'm really struggling and I don't feel confident, I'm not sure I can do this, and if you were building them up, if you were telling them how fabulous they were and how much they could do it and how much faith you had in them, would you be saying it just for the sake of it? Or would you be saying it because you meant it, because you're their friend, and that's, you know, you want them to feel good about themselves and you want them to have that self-belief? So, you know, these people, they're your friends, they love you, they care about you, they want you to do well, they want you to step into your potential. And it can be so easy not to believe people, because again, our minds will naturally go to the negative. So again, but it's about sort of seeing beyond that and actually sort of, you know, taking on board what those people are saying and internalizing it, and sort of, I can't think what I'm trying to say. Yeah, just, you know, allowing those feelings to boost you and to do what it is that they want to do for you. It's thoughts of confidence that make me doubt the word, if that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. And self-confidence plays such a massive part in your feelings of being able to step out of your comfort zone. Sorry, I've got things popping up on my computer. Let me just get rid of that. There we go. Your feelings of being able to step out of your comfort zone. But what happens is, the more you do it, your confidence will grow. So where your comfort zone grows, your confidence grows along with it. And that's why stepping out of your comfort zone is so good for your confidence, because it allows you to build your confidence, but only if you're stepping sort of into that blue bit that we spoke about earlier, where you can go and you can do well and you can succeed, and then you start to feel really good about yourself, and it expands your mind's sort of awareness of what it is that you can actually do. Only 1 second. I'm just going to read some of these comments. So, Sonia, I do life laundry. I get rid of the negative people. Yeah. Can you hear more positive? Yes, absolutely. I've done that. I've got rid of a few negative people out of my life, and it can really make a massive difference. If you've got somebody in your life who is like constantly the glass is half empty, or a quarter empty, or always empty, it can really bring you down, and just make you feel like having a conversation with them can feel draining, and they just seem to sap your energy. So yeah, I'm a big fan of life laundry. I like that expression, actually. Getting rid of some of the negativity, and getting pushes out your comfort zone too. Yes, yeah, it does actually. You're right, Claire. Yeah, getting rid of some people, because it can be hard to let go of some relationships or friendships, even if they're not particularly good for you, even if they aren't building you up. It can still be hard to sort of end those and step away from them. But yeah, sometimes you really do just have to, because yeah, people can be really like draining on your confidence and your sense of self. Very few positive. Yeah, and that can be really tough, actually, Caroline. If your family are negative, then yeah, that can be really hard to deal with. And again, then it's about going out and finding those people, and kind of deliberately seeking out people who can like support you and who will have your back. so that you can kind of do those things that you want to do. Because I'm guessing you're all watching this training today because there's things in your life that you want to be doing, action that you want to be taking that you're not. Is that, I would say that's a kind of fair assumption of where most people are on the call right now? Yeah, I'm just going through. Some of you haven't got your videos on, so I can't see if you're nodding or agreeing or... Yeah, and again, it comes down to it comes down to this ability to step out of your comfort zone with more ease. Comes down to a general feeling of self-confidence and self-belief. Deborah said, I think it's because I've always had negative people in my life, and now I've got, it's hard to believe words. Yeah, and again, this finding it hard to believe positivity, that all comes down to your beliefs, your personal beliefs, and what's going on underneath the surface that you probably at this moment might not even be aware of. It seems to go. Yeah, and again, you know, it can be really hard to, if you do have negative people in your life, you can't always just like walk away from them. So, does anybody have any questions about any of the things that we've covered? Anybody want to share anything that's come up for them? No?
Emma, I just want to say thank you, because especially the beginning bit really struck for me, you know, with the comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that that's really helpful for me to not just use it for myself, but also to be using that technique with the kids or clients that I meet that are a little bit anxious, and team and that sort of thing. So that's a really, really helpful tip that I've never really come across before, and it just makes so much sense. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Really great this evening. I'll switch it off, they're being noisy, sorry Tim.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thanks, Sonia. Yeah, and you know what, I when I first was taught that as well, it was a little kind of light bulb moment for me as well, and a kind of like almost, oh okay, yeah, I don't have to do it all in one go. I can just like break it down and take smaller steps, and not only will that make it easier, but actually it will, you know, sort of build my confidence more and build it quicker, if that makes sense. Has anybody else got any questions or anything? Lots to think about, lots to do. Yeah, perfect. So the only other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the program that I am starting next week, which is called Confidence Rebooted, and it is all about building your confidence, but in an aligned way, so in a way that is right for you. And the program is going to be run very much like this, so with live Zoom sessions. I think it's going to take probably 8 to 10 sessions. I know what I want to cover, but depending on how many people get on each call depends on how much kind of content we get through. But it's going to be looking at values and beliefs. So it's kind of diving deep into what some of your current beliefs are and how they are blocking you. So some beliefs serve us and some of them kind of hinder us. They stop us from getting where we want to go. So it's about looking at those beliefs and then looking at what traps you fall into. So what is it you do to trip yourself up or to self-sabotage, or to stop yourself from like taking the action that you actually want to take. So we're going to be looking at those things and then starting to work together so you can start new beliefs, which you can do. You never really you can get rid of the old ones, but it's sort of like replacing them with ones that are going to serve you, and getting clarity around what your confidence is, who your confidence self is and what it is that you want to do. And then also looking at new habits, new confidence building habits that you can do. So things like meditation, but about doing them in a way that is good and works for you. Because what I don't do when I work with any of my clients, either in a group or on a one-to-one basis, is none of it is ever a kind of cookie cutter strategy. I always use these kind of like real tongue twister phrases. They're fine when I write them, but I really struggle to say them. So don't do kind of cookie cutter strategies. It's all about sort of, as we did tonight, 5 very different things, and then it's about finding what's right for each individual, because that is what will help you to make fundamental changes. And you need to make changes that are in alignment with who you are and with your core values and what it is that you actually want. So, because that is what will allow you to make lasting changes, to build a really strong and a really resilient confidence as well, because part of self-confidence is being able to take some knocks, because that is just life. Life will throw some stuff at you, and it's about how you deal with it. So that's one of the things that we're going to be looking at, is how you can build resilience so that when things happen, it doesn't knock your self-confidence. You're able to pick yourself up and carry on, knowing that it's not, it's just life and situation. So if anybody is wanting to do the program, we are starting on Tuesday next week, which is the 21st of November. And like I said, it's going to be Zoom calls like these, and I will be setting up a private Facebook group as well, which I will probably put additional content in as well. And I'm going to do some kind of like journaling questions for you to sort of get you really thinking about who you are and what it is that you really, really want. So yeah, like I said, we kick off on Tuesday next week. So what I can do is, if anybody is interested, I can pop the link to the enrollment page for it. Yes, please just bear with me 1 second. I'm hoping that I'm not going to just cut you all off. No, I didn't. Okay. So, and for the first 10 people who enroll, and I do still have some available, I've also, as a bonus, going to be offering 2 one-to-one coaching sessions as well. So that will allow you to dive really deep into what it is that is going on for you. I don't know if anybody here has had coaching before, but it can be magical in terms of allowing you to see what it is that's actually going on for you, because often you kind of are not aware of what's going on. We have layers of beliefs, and sometimes you can have really contradictory beliefs as well. So the one-to-one sessions will really help to deal with that. So has anybody got any final questions? Anything they'd like to add? No? Cool. I will post this. Anna, I think it was you said you missed the beginning part. I have recorded it. I did remember to press record. So I will be sharing this on my Facebook group and on my Facebook page as well. Are you ladies all in my Facebook group? If you're not, then please feel free to come and join me. It would be lovely to have you there. And for any of you who are looking for some cheerleaders, come and find me on Facebook. If anybody has any questions, or if anybody is wondering if the programme is right for them and you're not sure, if you want, I have some availability tomorrow or Friday, so we can hop on a call and we can talk a bit more about it and whether it is going to be the right thing for you. No, Sonia, I don't think, yeah, I know that's the problem, right? You know what, I just had a cull of my Facebook groups recently because it was getting ridiculous. I think I left about 20 Facebook groups because it was just too overwhelming. You're saying you're in a lot of Facebook groups. Yeah, I think I am. I'm not sure. If you're not, if anybody's not, the link to it is it's a pinned post at the top of my Facebook page. So, in fact, I could probably, if you bear with me 1 second. There you go. That is the link to my Facebook group. If anybody is not there, just click on that link. Don't worry, it's set to ask you some questions, but please don't feel you have to answer them. You can just hop on and join them. So that's it for today, ladies. It has been lovely. I hope you've all found it useful. And yeah, I'll hopefully see some of you in the Facebook group and hopefully see some of you next week starting for Confidence Rebooted. So if you've got any questions, then just ask. But other than that, have a lovely rest of your Wednesday evening. Thanks. Bye.